Alright, since we're going to have Roger Alvarado, he's going to be here in 3 days. This is episode 1. I'm going to call the series, this first of the series. And I think maybe I'll separate them out. Because for what I'm seeing, a lot of other videos, if you have them, or a lot of other channels, if you separate them out, it's kind of easy to follow along different parts of things. So I'll try that out. It helps me out, so maybe it helps somebody else out. Anyhow, so I have stuff that we've already had around here that I've been collecting that will be used for the RV. And first up is this. This is the composting toilet. Which I'm still not finished with yet. But this, it's another frame, and it didn't cost me anything. This is what I've already had around here from doing stuff on the house, either taking stuff out or putting stuff in. Vinyl tile came from some place we already had. That hell, even the bucket's just an old paint bucket that was just from painting, so it's not finished yet, but that will be. And that's part of what we're doing to make it a completely off-grid RV. And what I mean by that is we're not even going to use propane. We're going to use no propane at all. So they're going to be solar powered. And I'm planning on building a rainwater harvesting thing for the RV off the roof. And that's mainly going to be for when I'm not hooked to a connection, which I should be most of the time, because I'm looking at a couple different other things, and until I find out for sure, I don't want to tell you guys what my plan is. But let's see here. Get in the lock. Yes, this is a cheap lock, but there's nothing really expensive in here to take care of. But so the plan is to be off-grid, no propane at all. And then even when we get to our property, we're not even using gas here. So basically it's going to be a gas engine in the track. And there are solar power panel. I did some research and found out that these are, I believe these are AGM batteries. So I can put those in. I'm pretty sure they're going to be okay being in a non-vented place because were in the wheelchair. So now that I know for sure, that's even better. Also did some more research. I used to know this stuff years ago, but I wanted to just double check and refresh. But when we're going to go from 12 volt to the inverter, you're going to go from looking at 12 volt to the amp hours, and these are 30. Make sure these are what they say. Yeah, 33 amp hours, so about 66 amp hours. And it says the conversion is 10 watts for every amp hour. So basically, these could output 660 watts, which the only time it would be coming straight off the battery would be at night. And so the plan is, since the only thing that would be really running at night, is going to be the deep freezer. My plan with that is maybe to, so that I don't use the big inverter that would be with the solar kit, is to use maybe I want to figure out what the wattage is on it, and probably go about 50 watts above whatever the wattage says on there. And I'll use that inverter, and maybe I'll attach it to the side of the deep freeze or something, and that one will run just the deep freeze, so I don't run the large one all the time when I don't need to. And that's the other part that goes to, there's a 7-gallon, and I'm gonna I'll figure out how to put a link down below. But there's also there's a link on the GoFundMe for the mobile homestead, and you can go to mobile homestead on Instagram. I believe I have the link on there. But anyway, that's where you want to go right this moment for plan on the GoFundMe. And on the GoFundMe page, the reason I'm sending you there is not for money, but the wish list is on there to show you the solar system getting. And then the next part of not having propane is how you do hot water. I'm not going to do solar bags. That's an option too, but I'm not going to do solar bags. There's a 110 volt system, which a lot of this stuff I'm probably going to wire into circuits. And then also, off of those circuits, there are going to be light switches. Don't need hot water all the time. So it has a 7-gallon tank, and it also has kind of like an instant feature on it too. The only time we're really going to need hot water is when you're taking a shower. So, as far as that goes. So I'm going to make that electric water heater. Okay, so that's two. Now, what about cooking? Going to use an electric cooktop. And then I'm probably going to get like a 110 volt convection oven. Another one where I need the inverter for the 110 volts. However, I found a company that I think they work with Amish groups as well, but it's called JC Refrigeration, and they make a kit. And I'll find out more about what kit I need or whatever and the cost and all that stuff once I get my RV here and know the exact model, all that kind of stuff. But it's a kit because, as I found out from other places, it's a kit that modifies your refrigerator to run exclusively off of 12 volts. It has a 12 volt compressor on it. Because the way the RV refrigerators work, and this is something I didn't know and something that I just learned, because there's RV stuff that I'm still learning. A lot of the mechanical stuff and all that kind of stuff I can probably help people with, but some of the stuff of how RV appliances work, I don't know. So this was interesting to learn. How it works is it's a propane. It uses propane to heat up a solution, or it uses an electrical heater to heat up a solution of water and ammonia. The ammonia goes up through a system and evaporates, and that's what cools down. But you have to produce that heat, so that's why it can work on propane really cheaply. Or not really cheaply, but it can work on propane. But when I looked at it, when people were telling me the wattages of it to run it off of 110, it's more than you would spend if you had a regular in your apartment refrigerator. Well, since we're going to have a deep freezer, I figure why not we don't really need that big refrigerator, and if this fridge is already in there, we can convert it to 12 volts. So now I don't need propane for an off-grid fridge. So that leaves, let's see. Oh yeah, that leaves one last thing. And this could also help with the cooking if we didn't get a cooktop right away, which is, this is going to be our heat. And that's going to be our, and it's got a flat top. It's wood stove, if you didn't know. So this is what we're going to cook in, or not cook in, but you could cook on top of it if you want to. It's not a very large one. I mean, there's a combo. It's maybe like a foot tall, 2 feet tall, maybe 2 feet wide. So it's a very small one. Don't need a big one, especially in an RV anyway. So we'll be installing that, along with a stovepipe out the top. And you may think that's crazy, but I got news for you. They used wood stoves in the covered wagons that went across on the Oregon Trail. I guarantee those were a lot more flammable than an RV. It was canvas and unpainted wood. So anyway, the other part to that is, since we're going to have the wood stove, I'm going to get me, that's not proper grammar. I'm going to get a couple pieces of cement board to put directly around the same height. And then on the outside of that cement board, I'm going to have this piece of metal, which is from an oven, and then you might have saw when you were in there. There's an old dryer. I'm going to take the metal casing off the outside of that as well. And that's going to be our metal heat shield so that nothing in the RV gets too hot that's close to this, the wood stove. And then I've got little pieces and stuff like this. Like this is, that could be a nice countertop. This is a corner round piece. Could be a table. So there's lots of stuff that I had already. Oh, and also, you can probably see it sticking up there. See those white pieces sticking up there? That's half-inch pipe. All this I bought before the RV plan wasn't even necessarily even a plan. So just so we're clear there. But I'm repiping the whole. It's gonna have a whole new bathtub in the back, bigger than the one we got in this house right here. And so it's gonna have all new plumbing. It's gonna be completely redone on the inside. So, and by that I mean I'm not gonna necessarily tear down the walls. I'm going to use spray foam insulation and a drill bit, and I'm going to slowly fill the walls with foam, and wherever it's got gaps or whatever, it's going to fill it up. The electrical system is going to be done, it's going to be done with, no, we're doing it this way just because it's kind of a style that my wife's into, and I don't mind it. I've been around it my whole life, so it's an interior decorating and all that kind of stuff. I'm happy if it doesn't leak. That's my happiness in life. But we're going to be using, since I'm rewiring the whole RV for this system, I'm going to be using conduit piping, the steel piping into steel boxes, and so there's not going to actually be that many outlets that I need on there. The rest of the lights are going to be run off the 12 volts, and then they're going to be LED bulbs in those. And then LED bulbs in those. This is how my brain works. Just so you know, if you want to know, what my disability does to me, if you've ever had a train of thought go, that's what I deal with all the time. But so all that's going to get changed, and the plumbing's going to get changed, and then the old system that has the outlets on it. Now I've been thinking I'm going to just change the outlets and put USB outlets into those, and then just run 12 volt into those wires of the existing system that's there, and then just use those for USB ports, since most of the stuff you have, like your cell phone, lots of stuff can charge up a USB port. So that's the plan right now. I mean, there's going to be probably a projector thing at some point and all kinds of stuff, but so far I just want to show you that 3 days away, but I want to get stuff together and make sure I have stuff together, and I've already got a good amount of stuff that once I have stuff pulled out, I'm going to be able to have stuff go right back in. So don't procrastinate, terminate, and if you're not awake yet, I don't know why you're not awake yet. It's morning. You should be up doing chores or something. Anyway, talk to you guys later. Thanks.